Hi, hello there. I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, I know. You haven't seen me in a while, I hope. Welcome to my, I guess, messy office. I just have some stuff to say about Liquid Glass and Flutter, of course. So I installed it. I installed the developer beta, and it's early in the morning. You can tell by my face. And yeah, I thought like as a mobile dev, as a Flutter dev, I should weigh in on this, how things would look like in the future for Flutter developers and for Flutter apps generally regarding Liquid Glass. I guess it's a hot take. Maybe you'll see by the end of it, or you'll judge it. I welcome you in the comment section to tell me. But without further ado, I have it installed here. I hope I'm not going to leak too much private information about myself or contacts or whatever. So first of all, what is Liquid Glass? I think I'll put somewhere some videos of it, but it's basically a better version of Windows Vista's Aero UI. It looks really good on certain stuff and it looks really bad on other stuff. Accessibility wise, it's pure shit. A lot of places, at least in the developer beta, you cannot see text or icons, or they messed up some of the best animations that iOS had. So for example, back in the days, you would be able to just do this and not that happen. Like everything would happen gradually rather than a jump when you reach the bottom. And that's the case for most of it. Same for the control center. It would just blur everything. Now it blurs only the stuff under specific icons. You can see that. But that's not what you're here for necessarily. So first of all, Flutter apps throughout time had Material UI and probably Material U now, and whatever things happened nowadays. With Android UI, I don't care much. But Flutter apps generally didn't really follow these design trends. Like you would have Material UI, which is first class citizen in Flutter applications, but it wouldn't necessarily follow the Apple iOS ecosystem of widgets. And that's not because they didn't try. They have Cupertino widgets, which are half baked, I would say. I mean, I tried to use them for several times now to make iOS apps look better, but I just resorted to making the necessary parts in Swift UI because it's so close to Flutter nowadays that you can just create a small app that uses Swift UI in Swift UI. Uh, and looks way better on iOS. But that's not the point. The point is that who would want an app to look exactly as Apple wants? And I have several answers here. So, which apps from these do you think that follow the Swift UI, not the Swift UI, the Apple Liquid Glass thing? And I'm going to tell you that it's only Apple apps. And in the future, it will be like more than that. It will be the apps that want to stand out that are already in done in Swift natively, and probably the ones that take design into consideration a lot, but don't expect your BMW app, banking apps, utility apps, apps for your gym, apps for interacting with whatever service you have. Like basically top apps that are not just apps, they're businesses that make billions of dollars. But that's the apps that will be optimized to use this. The apps that are already so high stake that it will benefit the business itself from making these changes and having so many developers that do native apps on demand that they didn't really care for having, for which their apps are so crucial to their business that they cannot do without. But look at calculator apps, look at I don't know what people use nowadays. I do mostly banking apps lately at my work. But yeah, banking apps, no, that's not gonna happen. I said that several times now. The cute things that will do this, it's like weather apps, it's like stuff that make the user want to use the app because of the design, not because of the functionality itself. And to be real here, apps are dying just for the sake of apps. Nowadays, it's just you would install an app on your phone if you would really like to communicate with that business or to do very targeted things. You wouldn't search on the App Store or the Play Store to look for what new apps came out to try them, like you did in 2015, or I don't know. I would say the window was like 2012, 2018, in which you would do this, or that was just me. I don't know. I spoke to several of my clients, and they didn't really care about liquid glass because Flur is not really a thing for following trend. It's more of a framework you would use for getting something out there to your users to use and be happy with the functionality itself rather than the design. Of course, you can do fancy animations and whatever, but it's just, I think at least, it's just a second-class citizen. Flur shines in the fact that you can do cross-platform things very well, not care about their shipping functionality faster rather than trying to wow the user with the design. You can make your app look great. You have several showcases of apps that look gorgeous and have cute animations, but IMO, that's the gist of the app, the animations and the cuteness. Also, there's another point. There are already Flur things like third-party and first-party packages that already try to mimic liquid glass. Some of them are slop, but some of them are really good. There is liquid glass renderer already that is I saw already on the GitHub issues of Flur, and it actually looked great. So whoever wants to implement that, they will be able to. But think about the value proposition that Flur gave you at first. It was one app, one code base that looks the same and acts the same on iOS and Android and multiple other platforms whenever you want. But most people use this too, and maybe web. Back when I was working in another bank, we did Flur web for the banking app, and it worked great, but it was so niche. There was not much support on the internet for that. But yeah, it's just that you would want to implement liquid glass if you want a fancy looking app, and you would be just falling in line with Apple. It's not that your business will succeed more or you'll do better. And I think whoever makes apps, that is not just a hobbyist, that is not just someone who has fun building apps, but someone who makes this their business. I would say like me, because I provide services of making apps for people, but not really. I will comply with whatever the client asks in this regard. If they want a liquid glass app and they're happy to pay for it, sure, but it's gonna cost more, and not many people will care for that. So basically, TLDR, as liquid glass looks cool sometimes it looks bad. Flur apps throughout time did look in a certain way that is more material than anything else. It doesn't really look that much different on different platforms. If you look at production Flur apps, it can, don't get me wrong, it definitely can look different, but they don't. So as much as Flur didn't follow trends so far that closely, it won't do it now either. There is a lot of slop that already exists on PubDev, so watch out for that. Yeah, have fun with the libraries you find, but don't give them all your time. And check out the official GitHub issues regarding Flur liquid glass. I think that's the most important thing you should follow if you care about this part. I know I don't. Or rather, I do care about it. I like how it looks, and I would love to use some of the Apple default apps that have this and see how they get better. but I'm not looking forward to making liquid glass apps that are not in Swift. I will just propose doing a Swift version if needed. Okay, that's it from my side. I'm looking forward to your comments about this. I know it's a hot topic and maybe a hot take from my side. I don't even know. I haven't read any opinions on the internet, just Hacker News stuff. So, yeah, see you there, I guess.